Do you have or are you starting to get a rounded or hunched back or a neck bump? I have 4 exercises to stop this from getting worse and in some cases even reverse this condition. This rounding of the upper spine is called hyperkyphosis. It's caused by poor posture, weak postural muscles, tightness in the neck, chest, and shoulders. It can also be caused by osteoporosis from compression fractures or degenerative changes in the spine. I'm Anne, a physical therapist and holistic practitioner. These exercises are designed to be safe for osteoporosis and osteopenia, but always check with your physician before starting any new exercise program, and please stop if anything causes you pain. Let's begin. Before we get started, let's get a sense of where you are in space and what it feels like in your feet in terms of where your weight is. Feel if your weight is in the center of the foot, more to the front or to the back, and then also feel where your shoulders and upper spine is in space. So do you feel that your shoulders are moved more forward and that you may even feel like your body weight is moving forward? We are working today on lessening that flexion or that bending in the upper spine and opening up the shoulders. So get a sense of where your shoulders are to start, and then let's begin, and we'll retest this after we do this exercise sequence. We'll be starting on the floor, so let's get down to the floor safely. Coming down to hands and knees, turning to your side, coming down onto the side, and have a towel nearby in case you need it to prop your head. Now, for people who are coming down to the floor and feel like their head is doing this, then you may need, if your chin is up, pointing up, then you may need a little bit of support behind the head so that the chin can be more parallel versus pointing up to the ceiling. And that can happen if the head is a lot more forward in space. So feel free to prop a little, only as much as you need. We don't want the chin to be here, so make sure that the chin is more parallel to the ceiling. It's not up and it's not down. So only prop until you can get the chin in that position. Okay, so we are in this legs are about hip distance apart, arms are by the side. We're going to start with just a few diaphragmatic breaths or belly breaths, just to start to expand the rib cage a little bit. So I'll have you put one hand on your belly and one on your chest, and when you take your inhale, try to inflate the belly like a balloon, and on the exhale, just let it all out. So there's less air coming into the upper chest and more coming into the lower parts of the lungs, allowing your diaphragm to distend or to descend and that belly to inflate. So inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Now you will feel breath coming into the upper part, but you really want to expand the belly. Okay, and also feel that you do have the big toe on the floor, the baby toe, and the heel, so you feel like this tripod, even in this position, that you've got some grounding taking place. Now the first exercise will start to engage the deep postural muscles, the extensors, the ones that help to bring our spine back up in space. We're going to be gently pressing the back of the head into the floor. You'll see there's not much movement taking place because I'm just bringing the head back down or pushing the head down straight down into the floor, only for about 3 seconds, and then I'm releasing. When you do this exercise, you should feel a little bit of the muscles in back starting to work and release. You might even feel a little bit in the front of the throat, and release. Nothing should cause pain. So if it does, please stop, get that assessed. But real easy, just starting to engage those postural muscles that we need to keep our spine upright. So just about 5 repetitions, holding 3 seconds there. The second exercise will be doing a shoulder press. So imagine that you have a sponge. I'll use this towel to demonstrate. You're not going to put a towel underneath there, but you have like a sponge. The sponge is the towel. It's filled with water, and you just want to gently push down against an imaginary sponge, squeezing all of that water out and then releasing it. And you can see my hands are facing the ceiling when I'm doing this. So we are just, without anything behind there, just imagine that you are squeezing out the water of an imaginary sponge and then releasing. So what we don't want is we don't want you pulling your shoulder blades together and arching like this. We want to get more of the deeper muscles that help to bring our shoulders and our upper spine back into an upright position. So just gently squeezing that water out of the imaginary sponge for 3 seconds and release. Let's do 3 more here. So squeeze and hold, just pushing into the floor and releasing. And again, press and release. 1 more. And press and release. Okay, moving on. We're going to do shoulder flexion. So what happens when we start to bend more and more forward is we get tightness through the chest and the shoulders. So we're going to do 1 shoulder at a time. So palms are facing the body. You're going to lift 1 arm up and overhead towards the floor and come back down. And watch that there's not too much flaring of the ribs, that you're not doing this, because then we're not getting shoulder motion. Try to just soften the ribs and lower the arm. Raise the arm, reach as far as you can reach back and bring it down. 1 more on this side, and then we'll do the other side. And reach, 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 soften the ribs and bring it down. You may also notice that when you go up, your belly automatically contracts a little bit. You start to engage the core to keep the whole rib cage from coming off the floor. Let's do the other arm. So it's raise and reach that arm as if you're reaching for an imaginary object behind you, and lower it down. And again, reach. And you may also notice that one side is tighter than the other. My right side is tighter than my left side. And again, reach and soften the ribs in the front. Watch for too much arch. We don't want to be doing that. And down, we'll do 2 more on this side. Reach up and behind and lower. 1 more. Reach and reach and lower. You can also do, after you've done single arm, you can do both arms. So reach both arms up and overhead. Reach the thumbs towards the floor and lower. And again, we'll do 5 here. Reach and really reach and almost give yourself a little bit more of a stretch at the end there, and come down. And 3 and lower, and 2. Watch the chin position, that you're not arching your neck at all. You're still keeping that face parallel to the ceiling. And the last one, reaching up and lowering down. All right, the last exercise to help engage the back muscles and open up the front would be snow angels. So for this one, we can also do one arm at a time. You are just going to drag the arm along the floor with the palm facing the ceiling, trying to keep it in contact as much as you can. Go as high as you can, get that out of the way. Go as high as you can, and then lower it back down. And you may find you can't get that arm all the way flat to the ground. That's okay. If you feel like you start to come off the floor here, then don't go any further. Just stay within this range, going back and forth. So you should feel this stretch all through the pec muscles and the arm muscles here as you're coming in and out of this position. But this is a really great stretch to do, motion to do, especially if you are sitting most of the day in front of the computer. This whole area will get really tight. And then do the same thing on the other arm. So just make sure palm faces the ceiling. You're coming up and you're lowering down. And again, reaching out and up and lowering down. This side was a lot tighter on me. On the other side, reach. And again, stay within the range that feels good for you. You don't need to go all the way overhead, especially if the arm isn't touching. Keep the arm supported on the floor. Stay within the range that feels good for you. There should be no pain when you're doing this motion. And then after you've done them each on, you've done 5 times or so on each side, then you can try to do it with both arms out and coming back in. And again, both arms out and coming down. So you don't have to go all the way up. So we're just getting some nice opening and nice motion going here. Let's do one more. And down. All right. So we are going to roll to our side, come up safely, onto hands and knees, one leg up, up. Okay, let's retest. How do you feel in this position? Do you feel more centered over the middle of your foot? Do you feel more open? If you feel like you should feel like you've got a little bit more openness and you feel a little bit more upright. So I hope you enjoyed these exercises today. Be sure to give it a thumbs up and also hit the subscribe button so you'll continue to get videos as they come out. Until next time.